Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, we're about to have some fun, y'all. We're about to have some fun. Look. Man, the show finna change, y'all. Spoon fed long enough, now it's game on. Flame on, Johnny Storm with his napalm. Stay calm, yeah, strong, but it ain't on. Excuse me, but there's power in the question. You'll see that the power's in your essence. Confuse me, but I found it impressive. I consciousness responded and found a reflection. It's also reflective. Now tell me what is info. Disregard, you don't know what your info. Start saying you a god playing limbo. That shit you hate, yeah, at odds with your kinfolk. Telling me it came from God cause I'm man wrote. Forgive me, but it's hard to compress all his knowledge itself and astonish and impose. To invoke, I'm a god that's within quotes. I've been dope and my conscience a big hope. Accuse me if you think that I'm wrong when I speak with my balls, but this his show. But this his show. Yeah. Welcome.
Yo, welcome. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. You are too kind. You are what they call too kind. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Q. This is the show. There's power in the question. Information is information. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I'm a little upset. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am quite upset. You know, I gotta implement some of the things that I talk about, like conflict management. Basically, what I did was I recorded 57 minutes. And what's crazy is I had nothing. I wasn't in the best mood. And I said, man, I'm going to just do the episode. So while I'm trying to just, do the episode or whatever, some stuff started coming to me like, man, what can I do? So I say I'm going to do love and convenience. And no, this isn't this isn't love or convenience. That's not the episode this is. This episode is actually going to be a little different. But that episode I started where I talked about, I told you guys I came up, girls used to call me ugly, realized I wasn't ugly. I just was very poor. That was interesting that they made that synonymous with each other. If you poor, you ugly. I bet you poor too, just because you're not as poor as me. But anyway, I talked about Kyla. So I'm going to put these on this episode. And even if I go back and do the episode and I make this the following episode, I don't know yet. So that's why I'm going to talk about it now to hopefully remind myself. I'm going to try to tell you guys about Kyla. I'm going to tell you guys about the time for the school that I got kicked out of in 5th grade when I was fighting Mr. Barnes. And I lost that shit. That 57 minutes was the first half, which was going to go into love or convenience. And I do the poem. I was able to recover only 16 minutes of it. So the first 16 minutes is there. So I'm going to try to go back to that and finish that up. But anyway, today's episode, my guy say that this episode definitely wants to be this week because I lost the previous episode, which was supposed to be love or convenience. So this episode comes from a debate. Not even a debate. I don't want to say it was a debate. This episode, I plan to name this one Sympathy for the Devil. But it's a question mark at the end. Remember, I tell you guys, power in the question. So my guy hit me up. I'm gonna read the text. And this motherfucker is a comedian, if you ask me. This is shit that always make me laugh. So when a nigga send text, like, he's funny in person, but even when he texts, he has to put his mark on the shit. He sent them one at a time. I'm at work. I just get a random text. I think I was watching Flash. I'm trying to eat lunch. I just get one text message. Man, let me talk to you. I'm like, man, what's poppin'? I'm still on lunch. What's up? Nigga say, I've been reading a little on religion. Now, mind you, he's sending these one line at a time. He can send one big text message and let me read it. No, he wants to build suspense as he's going. Nigga say, I've been reading up on a little religion. Nothing too heavy. But to me, hear me out. This is what he's saying. This is all him. It seems like Satan left God because God was almost like a dictator and Satan wanted free will like God gave the humans. Then he said right after that, he says, talking strictly storyline, LOL, not right or wrong. So I get excited. This is my type of shit. You guys don't know the stuff that I know about that I can break down to you guys. I'm first focusing on you. I'm trying to get you to see what you actually are and prove it to you. And I can talk 50 hours if I wanted to, but I'm giving it to you in increments. So I get excited when I get this shit, because he always be on my ass. He the one that called my podcast dry. It's Jay. Jay called my podcast dry. We supposed to be doing an episode. I don't even want to say the name, what the episode is supposed to be. So I get excited. So I say, man, I would love to discuss this. I think he get excited too. He said, am I tripping? LOL, nigga. So hold on, with the text, some of these texts, both of us didn't grammatically say what we need to say. So I'm gonna try to pre-read. I'm gonna edit the gaps in me talking about it so the episode can hit like the episode need to hit. So anyway, he said, am I tripping Or does that what it sound like to you too? LOL. And I just tell them like, man, I have a different perspective. It's deeper than rap. And when I get into this with you guys, I want you guys to blame Jay, because I'm about to I'm about to break this down to you guys and hope you guys can deal with it. So I just tell him like, I have a different perspective. It's deeper than rap. He said, give me a little bit, just a few sentences. So I tell him like, I'm at work. I got a slave schedule. I work all day. So I told him, give me a few. Almost 2 hours to the dot had passed. They don't pay me to do this. I still got to go to work, y'all. If y'all want to figure out something and get me paid so I ain't got to go work and just do this, I give y'all more content. Think about it. So I'm like, man, that shit just fucking with me, because I'm like, man, like I'm ready for this debate. Not really debates. My bad. I don't want to say it's debate because that puts like verses in between it. It's just exchanging of perspective from two gods. So I like that type of shit. I love that shit. So I told him like, there are 3 doctrines that I've researched, and I've read about Samael, or Lucifer Morningstar, or the dragon, or the serpent from the garden. Just different names that he's been referred to. Either the devil, whatever you want to call him, either he wanted to be God, or he didn't believe that man was worth the same praise as God. So he either loved God so much that he wouldn't put man in his place, like in God's place, or he wouldn't bow to something so beneath him as man. That's his perspective, what it seems like from the doctrines I've read about, Lucifer, the devil, El Diablo. What the other motherfucking name? I think it's Azrael. No, that's not his name. I think that's an angel. I forgot the other name. It's another name that the devil, like I looked up, the devil entity had. I can't think of it right now. But in my reading, it seems that and in my belief too, but I didn't tell him that part. I just said, but the biggest sin you can commit is going against God's commandment. So I think that the devil is just a representation of the idea of letting the power you have make you forget the reason you were created, in my brief opinion. So then I felt like that wasn't enough. I go on my next break a little over 2 hours after that. I said, hold on. The Bible says Satan and God made a bet that Job would curse God's name if God didn't bless him like God did. And God allowed the devil to place plagues on Job, his land, his wife, and his kids, but he couldn't kill Job. Shit, in Revelations, it says that the dragon that will come, the serpent of old, that will torture the people left on earth that don't get taken up. In the Revelation, it say like 1/3 of the humans will ascend to heaven, 1/4 of the animals in the sea die, shipwrecks, and 1/4 of the lands on earth. But that's whatever. That's Revelation. We ain't gonna get into all that. So that same dragon that's allowed to torture people that's left that don't get, ascended. And I forgot how much the time was in the Bible. I know it's in the Revelation. It says a specific time from my research. I remember it said like a specific time, like you're going to get tortured for 4 months and 3 days. I was like, damn, specifically? So he tortured them, but he can't kill them. So he's torturing them, I believe, to try to make them renounce the name of God. I know I'm reading a text message, but even with that concept, how is the devil the bad guy? In the story, like how is the devil the bad guy? Like, dude, he's talking to God and they make a bet. This is all in the story. And then think about the concept that you hear about the devil. The devil gets sent to hell, fire and brimstone, right? But if you're a bad guy, like if you're a bad guy, bad woman, and you did this bad shit on earth, so you're supposed to go to hell. If that's the case, when you get down there, wouldn't the devil be like, oh, that's my guy. He was out here killing people. He was doing all unspeakable shit. He was fucking people up. Oh, I like this guy. How many lives did you ruin? You ruined them many lives. You get a MVP or a VIP suite down here in hell because you my guy. Why is the devil supposedly torturing the people that do fucked up shit? If he don't rock with God and he wants you to do all this bad shit. Because I didn't see a situation where the devil can control you. The times I went through the Bible, the times, plural, I've been through there a few times. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to go into that. Let's talk about the concept of the devil, like as a concept character from the Bible and the way people seem to think that the devil does this and this sympathy for the devil to have. And I even watched the show Lucifer come on Netflix now. I like the show. It seems like we're changing in this age where it's like you get to hear people's story. But with the devil, I have a different perspective on the devil. The devil in the literature that I've read doesn't seem to be this outcast that was victimized for some noble reason. But he seems to be creation that has so much God in him that he starts to question the creator. I think that's why they made the saying, pride goeth before the fall. So I tell him, like, man, don't make me make this shit an episode, because I talk about it. So he say, and then he send in one line at a time. He say, for me, and I'm just going to summarize here briefly. Then he gonna act like he battle rap and talk some. I say, yo. He say, God made man in his image. Then God gave his son up for our sins. So basically gave us free will, freedom to choose. But angels, they're just messengers of God. Which, stop right there. That's actually not true. All angels are not messengers of God based on the literature. And I've read a few different things about angels, even biblically speaking. Most angels, not most, but some angels are warriors of God. Some angels are, their whole entire existence is to do nothing but praise God. That's what you get in, I believe, John was talking about that in his vision when he went to heaven, or Enoch. I think it may have been Enoch. When they go in the Bible, it's a story about Enoch, or either it was John, where they go to heaven and they see a sea of angels, and their whole job was to praise the name of God all the live long day, if you will. But back to the text. So he said that angels, he said they're just messengers of God. They have to do what they're told. So they saw how God favored man and felt some type of way about that. And I can understand that. And it caused them to rebel and seek a place where they can have the same free will as man. He said we can get into the rest of this later. But I think we have more in common with Satan as humans in simpler terms. So he talked about Homelander feels more relatable than Superman to us. So he told me to save it for the episode. All right, so I'm going to reply. So the rest of this is just going to be me replying, and I'm going to go into the concept of all that. Let's start with the concept that humans relate to the devil more. I don't disagree. I agree. But I feel like that's only half of the reflection. And I think that's the problem, that we only relate or seem to only relate to the devil more. You are created for your task. You are created. You didn't bring yourself into existence. Now I'm referring to the devil, the story of the devil. So if you are created to do a job by your creator, and because your creator made you so beautifully, you know, there's doctrine that says that the angel, Lucifer, morning star, Samael, he was of the most beautiful angel, one of the most intelligent angel. When he walked, music played. This is what they said about him. This is before he was cast out, and he let that go to his head. Now, these are different doctrines I'm bringing together, but I'm going to give you my perspective on them. Now, the reason I don't really like going into too much specifics on the information, because I feel like the information is out there. You guys can go find that. I'm talking about the concept, and I'm going to give you perspective to just think about. So either you wanted to be God, you wanted to prove God wrong, or you wanted to disobey God. I don't have sympathy for that. I can show you the concept in your regular life. If you have a child, you give that child everything you can, everything you have for them. You teach them what you can. And I'm going to do an episode about parents one day, because I'm going to show you that's a very important vibration. But just because your child starts growing up looking like you and all that good stuff, your child just going to go against what you're telling them after you're still taking care of them? I think that's why kids get kicked out now. Yeah, you go to the story, Adam and Eve couldn't stay in the garden they was given. Didn't I tell y'all last night? Get out. Where's Lilith? Yeah, but I think that's what's fucked up about it, that we relate to that so much, that we rebel against God. I remember I told you, you are a God. So you rebel against the creator as creation because what? You feel that you deserve something that you don't fucking know? You didn't create anything. You were created. And just some random way you start feeling entitled. Where the fuck do you get off? That's why I think the representation of the devil, it relates to humans so fucking much. What did I tell you guys that I think the real devil is for all humans? Ignorance mixed with arrogance. And that's what the fuck the devil seems to embody. You want what was not for you. You were created for a reason, but because you saw what somebody else have, now you want it. Sit your childish ass down. If you go with some doctrine that says like Lucifer didn't want to, or the devil didn't want to bow to man. If you was told to, do what the fuck you told. Go to your job and tell your motherfucking, your regular supervisor that the job you got hired to do, you're not going to do it because you saw the CEO doing some shit. He had a helicopter and he don't got to answer the phone or some shit. So you ain't going to answer the phone and you going to make sure you going to become the new CEO by force. Get your stupid ass out. They're going to have security come get your ass. And one of the things I think people fail to realize, the devil is not the reflection of God. Y'all forgetting that? The devil is not equal to God. In the story, the devil convinced a third of the angels what the fuck he was talking about. He's like, yeah, I'm riding with you, Lucy. I'm riding with you, Lucifer. I got you. We got this. We going to war. God didn't fight. God didn't get up and go, let me take care of this because Lucifer is involved. He told Michael, do you know what Michael means? Michael actually means the name of Michael or Michael, the angel. The doctrine says that name means, which is a question, who is like God? That's cold-blooded to me. Your name is a question that asks, who is like God? And that nigga said, who think they like God? God was like, man, Lucifer do. He said, let's go fuck them up real quick, y'all. Nigga got their ass cast out. Fallen angels. My nigga, you couldn't even beat another angel. But you think because you cunning, you're a little smart, you one of the most beautiful angels, you one of God's favorite, all of a sudden, you get big-headed. Pride goeth before the fall. Makes so much sense. You didn't lose to God. You lost to God's creation. An angel. That's what you lost to. So I don't have sympathy for you. I don't have sympathy for the devil character. I think it's the same concept I talk about with humans. You feel entitled to something without working for it. You didn't do anything. The body, everything you have that was given to you, you mistreated. You mistreat others based off some shit you think. And most of the time, people don't even think it. They heard some shit, saw some shit, learned some shit. So now they just want to reenact some shit. But then let's go into the concept of free will. Because man was given free will. Do you think free will is a good thing? Huh? Think about it. Think about the concept of free will. Does that really feel like a good thing to you? Are you looking like, man, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do? I was a kid that grew up with a lot of freedom. I didn't have a lot of guidance in my life. I was out there in them streets. Just out there playing, just out there kicking it, doing my thing, just having a good time, nothing crazy. But I had to deal with the consequences of all my actions because of that free will for what feels like the totality of my life. From childhood up into very now, I have to deal with the consequences of all my actions. Free will is a tough burden, to be honest. Everybody don't need it. Everybody can't even handle it. Just like the concept with like grass always green on the other side. No, I think you don't know how to appreciate what the fuck you got. You just see something you don't have, and like a fucking, I don't even want to say a child. I don't even know what the fuck to call somebody like that. Like just because somebody have something that you don't have, I want that now. I want it. Why they got it and I ain't got it? Grow the fuck up. Man the fuck up. Angel the fuck up. You an archangel, my nigga. You are the highest caliber of motherfucking angel, ain't you? Archangel the fuck up. We got to deal with free will. What the fuck do it look like humans have done with free will? Outside of Wi-Fi. I fucks with Wi-Fi. I told you I think Wi-Fi is magic. I fucks with Wi-Fi. But think about the concept of this. And I can use me as an example. So I'm a kid. I'm like 9 years old, 8 years old or whatever. I get a few $100s, like for the whole month. Imagine being a kid with that freedom to do whatever the fuck I want to with that money. What do you think happened when I went and bought candy and toys and restaurant food? And then in the middle of the month when I had no money left, I starved. I was hungry than a motherfucker. Stomach hurting, sick from the candy. That's what free will is. Do you think everybody is qualified to have free will? Do you think free will is this like autonomous great thing? Free will comes with the concept of dealing with your consequences. Because that free will, that shit had you up in the air, man. Like, man, if I do this, or should I do this, or what if I do this? And then if I do this, this may like that shit comes with things. It's like a science project. If I set you at wherever you work right now and told you, just do the job, figure it out, you'll be in that bitch tripping like, ain't nobody gonna train me. That's what happens with free will. No training. That shit is difficult. So you jealous of some shit that you see that you don't fucking understand. And this is all predicated on what? The concept of the angels not having free will. And Lucifer was like, man, that's some bullshit. Y'all feel me, right? So is free will a good thing? That's the question to really ponder. And why do you even think we have free will? Why do you think we have free will and the angels don't? Because a man wrote it. Y'all ain't listen to the intro? I tell you in the intro, that shit that had you at odds with your kinfolk, telling me it came from God because some man wrote. I'm supposed to believe something is of God because some man wrote it. Now, we relate to the devil in more ways, but I think that's the problem. I don't think that's a concept of, yeah, that's the good point of the debate or argument or my perspective or whatever. I think that just shows that it's correct. I do agree 100%, but I think that's the problem. Why would we want to relate to the devil? J. Cole got a song where he says, why do we cling to the villains knowing they kill them? My niggas high enough to swing from the ceiling. Why do we cling to the villains knowing they kill them? Why are you clinging to the motherfucker that you know is destined to lose? You better listen to Beyonce, goddammit. You are a winner. You better listen to that bigger. That bigger hit different. Let me tell you something. That bigger, Beyonce. Hey, I'm in the beehive. I don't fuck what you say. I don't give a fuck what you say. Say what you want about me. Q, how you in the beehive? Cause motherfucker, I'm there. What you talking about? It's Beyonce. That motherfucking bigger. Dude, I can break that song down. Oh, dude, she is talking. The shit I'm talking about, that's what she talking about in there. She's referencing everything I'm talking about. You never lose, we are winners. Like Beyonce was talking. You understand me? She said, I'll be the root, you be the tree. Pass on the fruit that was given to me. That's the circle of life. Y'all better pay attention to what she was talking about. You're bigger than the picture they framed you to be. My dude, you put borders around something because something is greater. Oh, just look here. Dude, I'm trying to tell you, open your eyes. Perception, step back, see more. But we relating to the devil, I get you. I think that's part of the problem. Especially when I tell you, you are a god. Even this, I'm gonna give y'all, okay, let's play. Let's play. Let's really play. Y'all want me dive into my consciousness again? I think I did this to y'all before. I think I did this the end of episode 6. R.I.E. Tony, my brother-in-law, rest into eternity. But I'm gonna do this. Let's have a little fun. Our physical form is Jesus, and the stories of the Bibles are just analogies and not to be taken literally. Huh? Y'all want me to say that again? Okay. Our physical form is Jesus, and the stories of the Bible are just analogies and not to be taken literally. What? We ain't Jesus? You think? Okay. They say, what they say Jesus do? Okay, Jesus gave sight to the blind. Okay, nigga might not have been blind, but you couldn't see that good. Didn't they give you glasses? Come on now. Don't belittle your gift. Don't belittle your amazing. Told you we be missing magic. We got magic. Nigga over there talking, this shit blurry. Put some specs on that motherfucker. He be like, look at that. I can see it now. I can see the crevices. What else Jesus do? What else he do? He fed a bunch of motherfuckers with what they say loaf of bread and some fish. I think it's an analogy. You only had a little bit, but you made it stretch for so many. How many times a motherfucker that didn't have nothing? I don't know how many people listening to me grew up poor like I did, but I can tell you this. I done seen a little bit last a long time. I can look back now and be like, I don't know how the fuck I survived out there. I just told you motherfuckers I had to deal with the consequences of my free will. Be starving for damn near half the rest of the month. Motherfuckers surviving off anything. I think the analogy is to have such a little and make it stretch. That shit is like magic. You saving motherfuckers. Imagine how good a story becomes when people keep telling it over and over and over again. Like a motherfucker like saved your life. Like I remember this one time, my nephew, my oldest nephew, the one I tell the story about. Shouts out to you, Keem. You say I can say your name. I'm gonna just say Keem though. But I remember one time we was little. He was like real little, like a baby. Probably not that babyish. He was like 1 or some shit like that, 1 or 2. And that motherfucker fell off the bed backwards, like he would have broke his neck, it looked like. I put my foot out and caught that motherfucker like with my foot, so he didn't break his neck. So when I tell the story the first time, I just tell what happened. Like, man, he fell and I lift my leg up and caught him. Then you tell the story a few more times. So yeah, I noticed something was happening. Everything slowed down around me. I said, shit. I said, oh shit, it slowed down. What's going on? So I surveyed the room. Then I noticed something was saying, look out, nigga. I turned to my right. I see my nephew going backwards. He's, no. I say, what can I do? My arms are not close enough. I cannot move fast enough to get him. But I have to use my foot, but I don't want to kick him. I slow and match his speed and then speed up with my leg to meet him at the exact point. I cuff the back of his head with the front of my feet and catch the rest of his body in my shin and save him from breaking his neck. Like, stories change when you do some shit. Motherfucker keep telling the story. So I think you fed all them people with the bread and the fish. Poor motherfuckers that made a little bit last a long time. What else? What else you do? Heal the sick. Y'all got medicine? Didn't niggas just talk about the vaccines and all this shit? Motherfucker get sick, you heal, you good. How many physicians didn't help heal you? You didn't took some NyQuil, DayQuil, something like that. You didn't took some. So we got that. What else? What else Jesus do? He walked on water. Nigga, you know how many puddles? It was just raining. It was just raining. And there was a puddle. I walked straight on that shit. So technically, I walked on water when you think about it. Like, if you really think about it, I walked on water. If somebody just said that part of the story, yeah, you can think what you want. But the truth is, I walked on water. Now, you could be like, oh, he walked, but he was nay-naying and it was like 30 feet deep. I don't know that part. All I know is, walked on water. I walked on water. It was a puddle. I walked over. So, Q walked on water. Talk to him. He brung back Lazarus from the dead. Okay. What we did. People have been like, remember it was this story of this guy. He got life in prison. I forgot his name, but I remember reading this shit. In my opinion, he made a good point. So the nigga get life in prison, and he go through some shit in jail and die. He was what they call it, clinically dead or some shit like that, when they pronounce you dead, and then they brought him back to life. And he said, well, let me out of jail, nigga. Y'all didn't say a double life sentence. Y'all said life. So technically, let me the fuck out. And I'm with him. I'm like, yeah, he died. Y'all didn't say if he died and come back, he got to go to jail again. No. So if it was reincarnation, he got to come back. They didn't let him out. They didn't let him out. I feel like, if you ask me, they should have let him out. They should have let him out. He died. And y'all said life sentence. That was one of his lives. He came back. This is a new life. Let free my nigga, man. Free my nigga who name I don't know. But I'm just saying. So boom, he got brought back from the dead. Whoever dude was Jesusin. He was Jesusin him. What else? What else Jesus do? People love Jesus turn water into wine. Don't we do that too? Don't we? How they make wine? I know they step on some grapes. I saw something and them people was talking to him. They like, we making wine. And they stepping on grapes. I was like, that don't seem sanitary. But that's just me. That's just me. Like, oh, we in a rubber suit. You still put it on, touched it with your hands, and how you gonna get out of that? And how do you clean it? Like, but that's neither here nor there. This one don't fuck with wine. Like, I don't know. I don't know fully how they make wine, but okay, I think water should be involved. It's liquid, so I'm assuming water somewhere involved. And if it ain't, shit, I turned water into Kool-Aid a lot of times in my life. What you talking about? Talk to him. I turned water into Kool-Aid a bunch of motherfucking times. Talk to him. I'm just saying. I'm saying that's neither here nor there. But like I told y'all, I feel that words are messengers or messiahs because they deliver the word of God. Because you are y'all already know what you. Hey. So let me hit y'all with some scripture then. Let me show you what I mean, how I'm gonna bring all this full circle. I'm gonna show y'all. Let's play. Okay. There's a scripture. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. You ever notice that we are referred to as man and not man and woman to represent all of us? In Spanish, I learned that if there are like 100 women in a place and one man, to describe it, the conjugation will be masculine and not feminine. To me, that just sounds like a trend of not valuing our reflection, the opposite sex. Even in quote unquote spiritual texts wrote by man, they do the same thing, where it's man, but that represents all of us. But I can break that shit down another time, but I digress. Let's get back to what I was talking about. If God gave his only begotten son, maybe that refers to sons and daughters. Just something to think about. And then it says, and whomever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. What if I told you I see a correlation in that? And I told you that I think that seems to be another story that was taken too literally, because you've seen people that die that believe in God. Some of the nicest and most devout people have died after devoting their lives to helping others and following what they believe to be God's law. But why did they still die if they were to have everlasting life? Look, I hope y'all ready for this, because this connection to everything I've said. Now, of course, that's outside of Storytime with Q. That's just me breaking shit down to y'all. I mean, I can bring it full circle, but that's just having a good time. Like, shit, I pay for this. God damn it, I told you I do this for negative monies. God damn it, let me have a good time too. Hope y'all having a good time, to be honest. But I hope y'all catching the message. But if they died, how did they receive the promise of everlasting life but still die? Why hasn't there been like a mass rejection of the Bible when people saw a devout person that believed in the Jesus character from the Bible die? Oh shit, what, he died? The Bible ain't real. Shit, to me, it's just like science. I told y'all I think science is a religion also. But just like when science is wrong, there's no cancel culture. There's no uprising against science. Like when they said the earth was flat or when they said it was round. No one got fired. Like, that's an argument still to this day. That's still an argument. People go back and forth. Now, I know they give the dude, what's his name, Eratosthenes or something like that. I think it's Eratosthenes. I think that's his name. So Eratosthenes, I'm probably butchering it. They give him credit for discovering, quote unquote, discovering that the earth was round in 240 BC. Like he calculated it. This is how he figured out. He figured out the circumference. Like, I remember this story, so I'm gonna do it my way. So he put a stick in the ground, bow, and then he put the stick in the ground, and I think it was the shadow that the stick made. It was like the sun was like at the highest point, like at noon or something like that, they were saying, but it was during the summer solstice. So the shadow that it made, he did the calculations, and those calculations, scientists say now, to this day, this is what science said. They said that his calculations from just using a stick, the shadow, and the sun during the summer solstice wasn't far off. But he never flew up in the air, looked down and saw it. It's just what he said and what they telling you. But there is doctrine that reference the earth being flat. Like even in the Bible, there's a point where they say the four corners of the earth. There's also doctrine of this thing called the firmament. And I'm thinking they reference that in the Bible too. Like there's dome, like the firmament or the dome shape of the planet. But how will we know what is or is not true? See, it's even doctrine that most scientists, based on my little bit of research, thought that the atom was the smallest particle that existed until I think it was like 1897. It was a nigga named J.J. Thomson. He quote unquote discovered that the atoms were made up of electrons, which means that electrons would have to be smaller particles than atoms. Did somebody get fired? Who got fired? Who got fired when they found out these motherfuckers been lying to people all this time? 1897 ain't that long ago when you think about it. That's low key almost the 1900s. You real close to the 1900s. So what was the cancel culture? What was the march to overthrow the lies? They lied to us. Huh? No? Nothing? Because to me it seems like these people that thought, had ideas, presented their ideas that became beliefs as fact, were able to change what they were saying due to learning something else. But it seems that some people don't even get to see that correlation in their lives today. No matter what time this is, whenever you hear this recording, it'd be a damn shame, but I have a strong feeling that even whatever today is to you, it's the same thing. Because information is information. It's just information. You don't know everything, because if you did, you could not ever learn. So why would you think what you quote unquote know or believe is fact when you have learned? So when you learn it, you had to think something else. So you thought you knew something else and you believed something else. So that pattern right there, up into your very moment of living, however old you are right now, think of all the things you've learned up until this moment. Do you think you just know everything? Do you think nothing else is going to come? But because somebody told you they fact, or somebody told you they belief, but presented it to you as a fact, now you believe it and think it's a fact. You don't see the pattern of every time you've learned? Isn't that enough evidence to show you that you can learn more? Instead of just thinking, oh, what I said got to be right. I said it is right. How the fuck else wouldn't it be right? Talk to me. Because I'm just tripping. Like, is it just me? Or does everything you learn show the pattern that you can learn something different no matter what you believe you know? So how could you tell someone else that they're wrong when you can't prove anything? Look how hard people will ignore information, hate, fight, kill each other, all because of their belief. Remember, I told you the way to tap into your God power, which is your conscious, because that's the thing that we have that's of God, the one God, or whatever creator you choose to believe in. Whichever one you believe in, your consciousness is of that. You believe in the universe, Yah, whatever, Allah, I don't give a fuck. The story is beautiful. What you derive from it is the value, in my opinion. So if I say and I believe that our God power is our conscious, and the way to tap into that God power of yours is through your belief, and manipulation is the tool usually used through fear, in my opinion, and belief, that I've already told you guys in earlier episodes that I believe God created creation in patterns to live out the reason of its existence. But I don't know the reason why we exist, but I believe I can perceive some of the patterns, just like a lot of humans seem to do. I just don't take my perception of the pattern that I perceive as myself being greater than something that placed that pattern there. So people do everything for their belief. You already see it. I hope you can see it. I hope it's making sense to you. I'm trying to say it in a way that I feel like you can grab it. You can really understand it. People do all this shit just because they believe, because it's not fact. You can't prove anything. This is belief. We are the conscious collective. Dude, I can break this shit down in so many different ways, but let me stay on topic, because you know, if you here with me right now, you already know I digress. And no, I have not been under the influence. I am just chilling. Just got out the shower, need some water, mouth dry, but I'm gonna talk to y'all. I want to stick on topic though. So because I can perceive the pattern that's already there, something already created that pattern and put it there. So just because I can perceive and I don't go like, oh, if I can see it, I must be greater than the thing that put it there. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's like think of a meteorologist. You know, they can tell the weather based on the patterns of like clouds and all that stuff, movement. So they can tell what's going to happen based on the patterns they study of what did happen. Yet the meteorologists didn't create the patterns, nor can they control the patterns as far as I know. I've heard people talk about shit like, yeah, they controlling the weather, G. I don't know if they can. As far as I know, the motherfuckers just be touching the screen telling me if it's gonna rain or not, or if I need sunscreen. I don't need wet sunscreen. I don't even know if I said that. Okay, on my last vacation, I wore sunscreen. I felt like I'm melanated. I just felt like I didn't need sunscreen. I was like, you still need sunscreen. Whatever. I don't think the sun is meant to kill me. And if it do, shouts out to me. But the meteorologists, they just studied the patterns long enough to not be too far off what the weather's going to be, just like Eratosthenes with his circumference of the earth. But I digress. So back to what I was talking about. So back to the topic. So why in the Bible does the Jesus character never bring God out? Like, hey, y'all, here go my pops. Hey, y'all, come here. Here go my pops. Here go God. Come on. Because I'm Jesus. Come on now. Come look at my pops. Here go my pops. But he prays to God, just like you do. No matter the way you do it, the Jesus character from the Bible prays to God. So let me ask you a question. When you pray, who hears you? I'm going to ask that question one more time. When you pray, who hears you? I don't want to know what you believe, but the fact that you can prove. When I ask you who hears you, I don't want to hear about the belief. Everybody has their belief. You're entitled to your belief. I feel that everyone's beliefs should be respected. It just shouldn't impede on someone else's belief. That's yours and yours alone. But when you pray, who can hear you for a fact that you can prove? Yourself or your consciousness, right? Remember, I told you that your conscious is of the one God, and that part of God makes you a God, little g, of course. You ever thought to yourself, but you're one person, so whom are you thinking to? Or who are you talking to? Well, to whom are you talking? You ever talk to yourself about something you didn't want to do, but still did it because some part of you thought it was for the greater good, so you made the sacrifice? So remember the Jesus character going to pray to God for a very long time, asking to take what he needed to do away because it was too much. Got no reply. What if that was because consciously he believed this is what he had to do? I think Peter and them fell asleep. He came back from praying. They fell asleep because he was gone so long to go pray to God. You know, the Jesus character goes to pray to God alone by himself. And I can only imagine what that feels like. Like, nigga, I'm about to go get beat, tortured, and crucified for your ass. And you sleep while I deal with this shit. Mentally, I'm having all this mental anguish over all this shit because this is what I believe I must do for you. And your ass gonna go to sleep. Boy, you are something else. You know that? You know that? You weren't even thinking about the crucifixion. Ain't you gonna deny me 3 times? Boy, if I didn't love you. Boy, I swear for Lord. But you know what's crazy? Sometimes others don't understand the sacrifice you make for them. But when you understand that, you can't blame them for it because they are ignorant to your sacrifice and too arrogant to even think that they're wrong. Boy, that devil real in them, ain't it? I told you I believe the only real devil humans have to deal with is ignorance mixed with arrogance. But even just the ignorance by itself, they don't even understand. Do you know what I'm giving for you? You may look at me and go, but you Jesus, you the son of God. Dude, I'm same thing you are. Not to compare myself, but to literally compare myself to the Jesus character from the Bible. I've sacrificed my life for the few people I've loved without hesitation. I ain't gonna say sacrifice because I'm still here, but I put my life up for the people that I cared about and loved. Like I tell people, my love doesn't go anywhere. It's still there, but my presence is sometimes predicated on how you treat that love. But I remember being told before that I don't do anything for them. And I remember going like, damn, when the shit happens, I run out first. I don't hesitate. Motherfuckers say, oh yeah, that's just because you want to do that. What? You think sacrificing everything I have is not even a value? You don't think that's fucked up? So if I go out there and die for a motherfucker, if I go out there and die for you, that ain't shit because that's what I just want to do. You think I want to go get hit with shit or shot, stabbed, mangled for fucking animal come? I'm jumping in front of the bear. Get out of here. You think that's what I want to do? You think I'm like, man, I can't wait till I get fucked up. Man, I hope I get hit with another bat or stabbed again. Like, hope I get shot again. Like, man, that was the time. But sometimes people don't understand your sacrifice. So for me, I look at it like if they can't understand it and you understand that they can't understand it, like I told you, how can you blame a baby for not appreciating a $1 billion necklace when they don't understand its worth? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. What if, when someone discovers that we are gods, they are willing to risk everything they have in this dimension to let the rest of us know. You ever seen people like, I looked up to Tupac. These are my teachers. These are the people I studied and listened to their words, not what people said about them. You know, YouTube still got some of their videos. Listen to their videos. Tupac, Malcolm X, Socrates. Well, Socrates came like after I became me. Socrates came around later. But the people that like were on my ascension of journey of searching, it was Tupac, Malcolm X. Who else? The Jesus character from the Bible, big part, Jesus character. If y'all want to really hear some good talk, not hear it, but read it. Go read Jesus parables. Jesus was always hitting with like parables I would liken to like analogies. I remember one time I was reading and he told this dude, the liar's chance to get into heaven was like the same percentage of, I think, to like squeeze your whole body through an eye of a needle. I was like, damn, you ain't even have to hit him with an analogy that tough. You could just tell him, you ain't getting in. But to hit him with an analogy like that, you over there like, man, how can I squeeze my whole body through the eye of a needle? These are the people I looked up to, and they were killed by the people in their own camp. So Jesus, for 30 shekels of silver, he didn't walk with you, talk with you, ate with you, broke bread with you, made you a fisher of men. This is your friend. You loved him. But for some money, he'll turn on you. Damn. Loved you like a brother. And if he was this special, I'm not the person that argues whether it's real or not. I'm not the person that argues Jesus was real, Jesus was not real. That's why I say the Jesus character from the Bible. Don't focus so much on what it says literally. Look at the story. How many people can relate? Motherfucker you call friend, brother, praise God with, whatever. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing but try to love them. And what was it? Envy? Oh, y'all share my song called Fuck Friends about a situation I went through. I ain't gonna compare that to Jesus. I had to get up they had to come change my toilet. My bad, y'all. But anyway, just think about the concept just over some money. What did you need when you were with Jesus? You needed to eat, it happened. Needed to drink, it was there. Get drunk, party, it was there. You needed nothing. Need a place to stay, you had them. You go to people, ask them, let you stay there, they'll let you stay there. And if they don't, he said to dust your feet and just move on. Somebody gonna let you stay there. But the concept of money, like what did you need money for outside of your needs? Unless you had envy or something. Unless you were looking at it like you didn't like the way that people revered and admired and loved Jesus. So you'll turn on your friend that's willing to sacrifice everything for you. Everything that's here for you, knows you're going to do it and still allows it. Still let you sit next to him. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And I know people like, man, you always compare Tupac and Jesus and Malcolm X. I do. 100% I do. Compare you and compare well, I ain't gonna say you, I don't know you. I compare myself. You're sacrificing for what you believe. You could take the faith and the belief of whatever you believe. Jesus is real. Jesus wasn't real. Different names. Son of God. Just a prophet. Just a man. Whatever you choose to believe. That's for you personally. We're talking about the story. We're talking about what we get from the story. Information is just information. So what should information be used for? I already told you guys, you only have today. Yesterday is every moment that's not this one. And you can't make it to tomorrow until you're dead. And the moment you get there, you'll be yesterday. But just for the concept of, I don't know, Judas, and you think of it in your way of living or in our way of living, however you see it. A motherfucker, I guess they want to shine on you. You know, a little slang, I guess. They want to stun on you. They want to appear a certain way to others because you had everything you need. And you'll turn on a motherfucker that love you. And even though they even know you're going to turn on them, they still valued you enough to go through with it. Why is that? Maybe they see something you don't see. So what if when someone discovers that we are gods, they risk everything they have in this dimension to let the rest of us know? But the manipulation from the false god society and fear has us convinced that we are whatever they say we are. And it actually hurts them because they see like, I'm you and you're me. We're of one, of what I call the conscious collective. Me personally, that's what I name it. So because you are them and they are you, it actually hurts them to see you not value yourself and see how amazing you actually are. So they understand that that's more important than benefiting off you because you are open for manipulation. So they understand, oh, you don't understand how valuable you are. I could treat you a certain way, like, oh, you're little, you're less than. Okay, do this. I'm going to get this from you. Hey, do this because I'm greater than you. Or I'm a celebrity. I reign supreme over you. So why wouldn't you do what I say? Why shouldn't I benefit? Why aren't you giving me stuff? They don't see it that way. Once you see what I see, you will see the value in everyone. So taking advantage of them because they're weak, deficient, lacking, and or ignorant to what they have and what they are. And ignorance is nothing but a lack of knowledge. Stupidity is the choice. If I value you, why wouldn't I want to help you? The way I try to tell people that these people are open for manipulation, think about the matrix. When I say you're open for manipulation, think about the matrix. If you're not unplugged, you're potentially one of the agents. You know how the agents on the matrix, they can turn into anybody that's not unplugged. So you can kill one of the agents, but they just become the next person closest to you and try to kill you because they're an agent of that same system. Even unbeknownst to themselves, they'll die to be that agent. They'll die as that agent, but then when you go over there, the agent never died. Only you do. So if you're not unplugged, if you're not able to see what you are, I don't want you to be a potential enemy to me. I don't want you to see yourself as less than. That hurts me because I see your potential. But if you don't see it and you fall for this false God society, you start believing what others tell you you should be outside of thinking for yourself. You have to first learn how to think for yourself. But if not, just like in the Matrix, you're open to being an agent because you will protect what is fake because you believe it's real. Yet these messiahs, these Jesus characters from the Bible, they value you enough to visibly sacrifice for you to see your value. So what if I told you that you are the physical representation of the idea of the Jesus character from the Bible? What if I told you that's why you die for your sin? What if believing in yourself to be something so amazing because you are of God is a reflection of believing in the concept of the Jesus character from the Bible or any Messiah-like figure that you believe in any denomination, any religion, or whatever you want to call it? You know, when I tell you that you are God, and in this dimension, you are $100 billion diamond. So if you can't see it consciously as a God, I'm still telling you, even here, you're $100 billion diamond. Understand your worth. Whomsoever believe in him. Don't I tell you to believe in yourself first and understand that you are value? You are worthy enough to learn about yourself and then experience and learn the world. But whomsoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Remember, we're breaking down the saying. I'm showing you the correlation and a reflection in you. So they shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Remember, I told you that your conscience is of God, and God is and cannot die. God is not inside of time, space, and matter because God created that for us to play. So what if everlasting life is your conscience? Whether or not you believe is your choice and or free will. So your conscience is forever, and your physical form is your consciousness experiencing this dimension as you. But some let the manipulation through fear scare you into valuing the thing that you will do for the least amount of time, and that is not everlasting. You start valuing the earthly things, the things that you know are going to be gone. So if your conscience is God, that's your direct connection to the one God, which is in all of us. Whatever creation is, that's what's of creation. So when you pray, who hears you? Your conscience. Maybe the story is an analogy of you thinking, what should I do in this moment? And when you get that knowledge of self, then you can go to that consciousness and explore ideas, because you create ideas out of nothing, like a big bang. And maybe if you spend a little time in that consciousness. Why do you think so many people talk about meditation? The oneness. What you think you're becoming one with? Your creator, creation. I use God for my way of talking, but it's a title. So maybe when you pray, it's for you to think about those things. And you don't get an actual response a lot of the times because you already know what you're supposed to be doing. You thought about it. You thought about the idea of what I should or should not be doing. Remember, I told you your consciousness supersedes your actions. Y'all remember the equation? You have a thought, boom, out of nothingness. Or the initiation of it is what you perceive when you see your reflection. So when you perceive, you have a thought about your perception of what you see. Man, what is that? What are they doing? What should I be doing? But as like a parent or something like that, that's when they teach you. See the correlation in Adam and Eve? Or even male and female, where they say the female is Lilith. I'll probably do that one day. I was supposed to a while ago and I was under the influence and forgot. But Lilith, long story short, Lilith was supposedly the first female of creation. If you go into Genesis, when it says God created the animals of the air, told them to be fruitful and multiply. God created the animals of the land, told them be fruitful and multiply. Created the animals of the ocean or whatever, fruitful and multiply. Created male and female in their image. It says we will create male and female in our image. Interesting thing is, who is us? But anyway. So it says that took dirt from the ground, formed it, and breathed life into them. Male and female, created at the same time, at the same way. Don't that sound equal to you? Told them to be fruitful and multiply. In the next chapter, he takes the male that he created. His name was Adam. Put him in a garden east of Eden or Garden of Eden. I may have talked about this on another episode, but guess what? I'm talking. We gonna get there. So I'm about to wrap this up for you guys. Then Adam wanted someone, I think it was compatible or comparable to him. Then it says God put Adam in deep sleep. Bow, go to sleep. Made a incision, cut him open, took out a rib and created one man. So if that's Eve, who was the first female of creation? I've read a lot of stuff about this. The most consistent thing I've ever heard is Eve. I heard the another argument where they're saying like read the Bible precept upon precept, and that was actually the story being told in a different way. I get all that, but I like the concept of the Lilith character. And then I've done like it's not in the Bible. Lilith, I think, is only mentioned once in the Bible. So I've done outside. I've done a lot of stuff, a lot of reading. Like how Lilith, the idea of Lilith becomes succubus and all this other stuff. And that's why the age when you cut your son's hair, because Lilith will go after the boys. So the stories that I read, one of the most consistent ones that I've read was that Lilith was the first female. She was equal to Adam. She wouldn't subscribe or accept being put in a missionary position. She wouldn't let Adam get on top of her and hit her with that. She ain't want that. She probably want the rag. You know what I'm saying? She want the Cardi B with some big tall heels. And Adam was like, no, this how I gotta do it. She was like, nigga, you had your time on top. It's my time. She supposedly, by doing that, she like ran away. And that's why Adam was by himself. And then that's why he was missing. Like, man, God, I need some of that yummy, that yummy. You know what Adam wanted? He's like, you got me over here naming these animals. I'm trying to be an animal. You feel me? But yeah, so that's why Eve was made from man to be the helpmeet. You know, that's where you get the submissiveness. And then they say, like, if I'm an independent, strong woman, then it's like some Lilith stuff. I don't think it's good, bad, wrong, or not, whatever, but it's just the story. But I digress. So if your consciousness is God, and you in your physical form is your consciousness in physical form, and you will die. This form will die. You know that. You don't know a life outside of this one. Being alive is the least amount of thing you will ever do. The oldest person that ever lived, from my research, I think it was like 900 and some years old. I think it was in the Bible. He's supposed to have been dead over 2,000 years. So the longest thing you're going to ever do is be dead. Your physical form, that is. So people anthropomorphize and create stories of what happens when you go. And I get it. It may soothe people. It may make you feel better. And I'm okay with that. I don't care what you believe. Believe what you want to believe. I'm 100% on your team. Believe anything you want to believe. Knowledge yourself does not change that. If I'm saying a Jesus character from the Bible and you want to speak of Krishna, you want to speak of Mithra, you want to speak of Horus, whoever you choose to follow, believe, Jehovah, Allah, Elijah Muhammad, what was homie name? Gandhi, Buddha, whomever you choose to follow, put them in a story. It's the same thing. I don't care about the dates. I don't care that December 25th and the winter solstice and the crux of the sun, this is astrologically speaking, it goes down below the equator at a certain point of the earth and it sits there for 3 days. And after that, it starts going back up. They could tell you that the Jesus story is astrological. And even the 3 stars that go in the line of, I think the star is Sirius, and it's like the brightest star. And those 3 stars follow it, like the 3 kings. And I can break all this stuff down to you with that too. But I don't care. They're all great stories. We got it. Why is we arguing the different stories? Do you go see one movie about a character and then when you see another movie about somebody else that played the other character, do you get mad and go, hey, you are not him. You the dude I saw another movie. Why are you acting like that Deadpool? Deadpool crying. What's the dude named Ryan Reynolds? He crying. You want him to be Deadpool in some romantic comedy. So what I'm telling you is no matter which way you look at it, value yourself. You are of whatever that beautiful story that's about, it's still about you, no matter which way you cut it. So what if I tell you that your consciousness is God? Your physical form is the idea or Messiah-like figure in whatever story that has been created that's going to die. But your consciousness won't, because that is of the one all creation of everything. We don't even fully understand our own bodies. Figure out why my arm do this or something. Like I have the saying that I say, I believe God created creation and reflections to live out the patterns of the reason it exists. So I can't tell you why my blood does what my blood does. I can tell you what science say, but science didn't create my blood, so they don't even know why. Science can tell you how in some areas, but they can never tell you why. They can tell you why what they understand is happening. Oh, it's going to rain because this happened in the air pressure. But why do it even rain? I told you the first question is why. And there's power in the question. So I want you to ask a question in a place you never asked a question before. And I can give you a bunch of them, but I be trying to be easy. I get to y'all a little spoon feed at a time. But what if I told you your consciousness is God? God sent you down here to live amongst here and die for your sins. Whatever you are, you're down here and you're going to die for your sins. And then some people don't value it. And then the people that can see it try to help you. They try to come out and put it in raps, put it in movies. They become preachers, priests. I never really listened to a priest, but they become speakers. How about that? They become speakers. They become people trying to help you. And you still don't value them because you don't see the value in yourself. The one thing I think about my teachers, I think the issue was, I'm not going to say the issue because I really respect them. And when I say that, my teachers were Tupac, Malcolm X, and a Jesus character from the Bible. Listening and reading about them, those were the things that taught me. That's why they're my teachers. But the one thing I see, besides the fact that they all got killed by people in their own camp, people that they were trying to help, the one other thing that I see amongst them as a similarity or commonality or similarity, similarity, commonality, whatever. And this is my opinion, but I believe they were more leaders than teachers. And I think right there, that's the thing that we're missing. Because that's what history is for. History is just yesterday, remember? So use that yesterday to help make a better today, which in turns we can hope for a better tomorrow. But all we have is today, so keep working. So I think we're supposed to take the information from our teachers, people we look up to, people we learn from, and try to find a way to make it better. Not better. Try to find the loopholes. Yeah, to make it better. I'm going to just be real. It's to make it better. And I think in the concept of helping, more teaching versus leading is what we need. Because in my opinion, based on my research and even my own belief, what I've seen and believe to be true, I think when you are a leader, and they were great leaders, in my opinion, but I think that subsequently make the people followers. And if I subsequently make you a follower and they kill me, you'll be looking for someone else to lead you, not to stand on your own. That's why my approach is what it is. There is power in the question. Information is just information. You are the value. You are God. You are $100 billion diamond. Just trying to get you to shift your vision to the focus of what is the most precious and valuable thing there is, and that's you. You are the story. The story is about you. Everything that happens, your dreams, the power you have, all of these things is of you. Everything you can enjoy, think of, is still of you. But somebody else made it up. You're capable of it. That's all they're showing you. Not to make you less than. They're just showing you what you're capable of. But it's tough. They beat the shit out of Jesus. I don't want that to happen to me. Yeah, but if enough people are like Jesus, nobody is getting the shit beat out of them. It's helpful for all of us. We are all in this together. So some of us have the capability of being Jesus because we are gods. But you've read a story about what they call quote unquote bad gods or mean gods or gods that do this and do that because we have free will. You are God. And if you can't see that in its physical form, you're $100 billion diamond because you are Jesus. You are Messiah. You are Krishna. You are Mithra. You are Horus. You are Osiris. What's homie name? Horus. I think I said Horus. Whatever. So free will is what you were given as a God for you to experience this existence its way. So if the devil wants sympathy for thinking on his own and having the ability to make choice and not disobey God, not disobey your creator, then my answer is no. I have no sympathy for the devil. Everything was there for you. He gave you everything. For you to be this beautiful of an angel, God created you that way. If it's true that you walk and music played, he created you that way. If you were one of the most intelligent, it's because he created you that way. You fucking kid. So no, I have no sympathy for the story of a devil being. And if you are real, I feel that way. And I'm not worried because even in our stories, and we can go to the Bible, you only can do what God allows you to do. Nigga, I am a God. You were told to bow to me. And you just being disobedient when all God did was love you. Gave you everything you needed and loved you. Gave you a task to do and you didn't want to complete it for some selfish, prideful, and ignorant reason. That's why you the devil. Because you had ignorance and was so arrogant to believe something that you didn't fully understand. So I have no sympathy for the devil. Nor do I have sympathy for gods that walk around and act like devils when devils are not even equal to God. They are not God's reflection. Some less than God can beat the devil. It has. Everything is a reflection. These stories are reflection. Your consciousness is of God. So when someone creates a story, it's talking to you at all times. Everything in this universe is talking to you at all times. So you know what? Let me stop before I have to go too deep and y'all realize where my brain really at and how I really do this. But check this out. Do I have sympathy for the devil? No. Fuck the devil. I ain't trying to hear that bitch ass shit. Nigga, man up. Archangel up. I ain't trying to hit none of that goof ass shit. Nigga. But yeah, thank y'all for rocking with me with that. I made the reply to sympathy for the devil or the concept of that. Did it feel like a story time with Q? Y'all like a story time? I like story time with Q. Shit, wait till I tell y'all about Kyla, how she did me dirty. Wait till I tell y'all about fighting Mr. Burns, all the fights I had. Well, not all of them, but a lot, like a moment in time where I had so many fucking fights. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to do Love or Convenience. I know I keep saying that shit. Hey, I lost 57 minutes. I was hot. God damn it. Maybe I'm going to give y'all a better version of the story. But Love or Convenience is coming soon. Y'all gonna definitely get that from me. I'm not planning on doing this show forever. This show is something I really hope you can go back and listen to. Trust me, if you unlock that consciousness in yourself, I'm not saying I'm what you should be listening to. If you listen to what I'm telling, I'm giving you ways to think for yourself. I'm just showing my consciousness. So when you go through these episodes again, if you go through them 1 through wherever I stop, you can do it now. I do it now. Go back, listen to it while you're doing anything. Let them words deliver that message that I'm trying to deliver. Let the messiahs deliver that message. Why you think a messiah always come with a message? But anyway, remember, don't let your past bully your present into becoming your future. Because what they call pure is tampered with. The cure can't answer it. You're lost in a world looking for answers that's answerless.
We're about to have some fun. Look, man, the show finna change, y'all. Spoon fed long enough, now it's game on. Flame on, Johnny Storm with his napalm. Stay calm, yeah, strong, but it ain't armed. Excuse me, but there's power in the question. You'll see that the power's in your essence. Confuse me, but I found it impressive. I consciousness finding and found a reflection. It's also reflective. Now tell me what is info. Disregard, you don't know what your info. Start saying you a god playing limbo. That shit you hate, yeah, at odds with your kinfolk. Telling me it came from God cause I'm man wrote. Forgive me, but it's hard to compress all his knowledge itself and astonish and impose. To invoke, I'm a god that's within quotes. I've been dope and my conscience a big hope. Accuse me if you think that I'm wrong when I speak with my balls, but this his show.